little folder where I write everything down. Nice! Which I can find right now. Where is it? So, hello everyone, and welcome to my new video. So, this month is October, so this means next month is November, obviously. And for some of us, November means we're all gonna be so screwed because it's NaNoWriMo! Woo! And NaNoWriMo, if you don't know it, it's a national writing month where writers all over the world commit to writing their novel in 1 month, which means 50,000 words is the goal. And then, yes, you won NaNoWriMo. So now it's October and I'm outlining my novel for November, and I thought I'd show you my outlining process for my novel in November. So if you're interested, just keep watching. My novel will be called Cathy, and I got the ideas a few weeks ago, so I started writing down some ideas, and then I thought, yeah, why not? It's nice, it sounds like a nice story to write. My dog wants to enter. I got the ideas for my book. My book will be called Cathy a few weeks ago, I think. So I thought I started outlining my novel. Of course, there are some people that just start writing their novel on November the 1st. They just have a blank sheet of nothing in front of them and no outline, no characters. And for them it works well, but for me it's 50,000 words, so I need to have a plan. I need to have some of my characters in mind, some important scenes, so I don't confuse all of it, because in books there are different, at least in my books, different storylines, different things that will happen, so I need to plan it, to kind of plan it out. I need to write down some plot lines, some plot twists, some things that I don't want to forget about the characters that I think is important. So that's what I did. And for that, for all of my writings, my novels, I always start one of those new folders. This is my folder for Cathy, and it's pretty full already. And I will just quickly show you my folder. So those are one of my first notes, so it's not focusing. Focus! I don't know why this is not focusing. I think I got it focused. Yay! So this is like one of the first messy notes. You maybe cannot even read it because it's German. But it's like scenes I came up with, like from after some doodles. And this is just how I started first. So I get ideas, why I do before, after, like it's like discussing with myself. Then another scene here in red, something that I thought is important when I came up with the before and after idea. And about Cathy, some ideas I had. And yes, I'd say that's what I do before outlining. That's the whole process of note-taking, of coming up with ideas, planning, plotting, because while doing all of the scenes and going back and forth, you actually come up with more and more ideas, and things start fitting together, or you see something doesn't fit in, you just cross it out, or you write it in red, or whatever floats your boat, I say. This is just the work before the real outlining, I'd say. It's just getting ideas and planning them out. So just messy notes that I will look through and that I will take to work with. I wrote down some of my characters on sheets like that. these are two characters, actually the main characters, Cathy and Michele. And I do that for every character, even if it's a side character like a teacher. They are a little bit smaller though, and I write down the name, the age, the nationality, how they look like, their hobbies, and what courses they are in. And on the side of the page I wrote down some general informations, maybe some important scenes, maybe some relations they have with some of the other characters, if it's best friends. And yeah, generally I'd say when I create my characters, I kind of already have them in mind, but I create them based on the protagonist and the antagonist. So the characters have to fit, they have to have some points where the argument is explainable and explicable, because, for example, you can't have a character that's all the time in the first time of the book loving animals and peaceful and nice to everyone, and then suddenly he kills his dog. So you have to work that out. If someone needs to kill his dog, he should at least seem to be like someone who doesn't like animals and is not peaceful, if you get what I mean. Then I got another paper that's really important, that's about the courses, because in my book the courses are very important because important things will happen there in class. So I wrote down the different courses, the teacher who's in the course, what they are doing there, and maybe some important scenes about the classes too. And yes, so that's the work I do before the real outlining process. And the outlining process I will show you on my laptop, which kind of look like this. This is the starting of my outlining process. Why is it not focusing? Wait, I think I got it. So I think I got it. Yes, it's focusing. Yes. Yeah, whatever. So I write it down like the outline, and then write it down like a text, like the whole book. Cathy is in her lessons, and then I write down some scenes. Maybe I write down some dialogues, what comes to my mind, and I just write it down, scenes, what happens next, blah blah. And it will be some, I'm in the middle of it right now, so like in the beginning of the book. So now this is now the real outlining process, what I showed you on my laptop. And after I finished my outline, my text, I will print it out so I have it on paper before me. And this is when I finish my outline, when I really start working with my text. So when I will have finished the outline, I'm going to work with the text. So for my novel, for Cathy, I have two different point of views. I have the point of view of Cathy and of Michele. So I will go through the text and I will see, okay, what makes sense to be told from Cathy's point of view or from Michele's point of view, and I will mark it in two different colors. So this will be one part I have to work through with the text, and then for this novel I have two different time zones. So I have the before and the after. So I will go through the outline again, and the outline will be between, I think, 10 and 20 pages. It always depends on how detailed you do it, how much ideas you have while outlining, if you have scenes in it or whatever, how you do it. So I think for this novel it will be between 10 and 20 pages. So the second time I go through it, I will look which makes sense to be told in the before, or which will make sense to be told from the after point of view. So like to be told in a flashback and to be seen differently, because it changes a lot. So you have like one scene, it's a raw scene, something happens. And the value for this book, for me, the scenes are getting is which is told from before that certain event happened, that is like the main point my book is about, or after. And yes, after I've done this, I will go through it again. I have marked before and after, I have marked the point of views, and then I will look where it makes sense to kind of have different chapters. So I will look through it, I will think, okay, this whole part, I think it makes sense if this is one chapter, and then the next chapter starts. And I will also have to switch things. I will see some scene down there is like, oh, maybe it makes more sense to have it before in that chapter, or I will have to cross something out and be like, this should be coming later. Because when you don't tell a story chronologically, you have more freedom on how you tell the story, but it's a little bit more difficult too, because it should make sense and you should be able to have the suspension. So yes, this will be a little bit difficult. And yes, so that's the outlining process for this novel. Maybe I will film it when I'm finally going to have the outline done. And I don't outline like this for all of my novels. For example, there was one novel I didn't outline at all. I just had a blank sheet of paper and I started writing, and for this novel it worked perfectly because it was chronologically and the characters were evolving, were more easy, were not so... you didn't have to plan so much. For some it works like that, but for some novels it takes some outlining, and this is my general process on how I outline novels. And of course this was a short overview for every little step, like how you plan your characters, antagonist, protagonist, plot twists. There's a lot more thinking and planning behind it, so it makes sense. But yes, I think that's all there's to say. I hope you liked my video. If you haven't already subscribed to me, be sure to click the little subscribe button somewhere down here so you don't miss my other videos, and maybe leave a comment if you have some questions about my outlining process, or if you want to give some tips yourself how you outline. And I'm curious if you are planning to participate on NaNoWriMo this year too, so let me know. And yeah, that's it. I wish you all a wonderful day. Be happy and be safe. Bye!